Just because I carried it all so well doesn't mean it's not heavy. And that is the reality of many people today who are living with depression. And our guest today is here to share her experience with us. So welcome. Join me here on Unscripted. Let the show begin. Thank you, Radisson, for hosting us.
Depression, it's been a long journey and I've been working on myself to be better than the way I used to be. I take each day as an opportunity to change my life when I'm not okay.
Hi, welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your viewership always. With me today is my guest, Naomi. Welcome to Unscripted.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
So tell people who you are and why you're here today.
My name is Naomi Nyakio. I am a mental health ambassador, and the reason I chose to be a mental health ambassador is because I've been a victim of depression. So I felt other people should not suffer the way I have suffered. That's why I share my story to inspire others and also others to learn from me.
So you can tell me, when did your journey begin with depression? What happened?
As I can remember, up to start 6, I was very okay.
Oh,
Yeah, up to in primary school. But when I got to start 7, there was some challenges like bullying from some of my relatives, and it really hurt me. It was emotional abuse. I mean, it was verbal, but I took it personal.
I see.
So it really affected me, and as a result, because I've done a lot of research, because I really wanted to know the reason as to why I got to that stage of getting sick. So I found that it started from I had got a low self-esteem. So I'd been having a lot of stressing myself with things that are not even there.
What kind of things were they telling you, and how were you stressed out? How was it manifesting?
Like shouting at me, talking about my looks, comparing me with others. It was not okay to me, because those are relatives, and I expect them to show love.
And you're how old at this point?
By that time, I was entering to the teenage
so
life.
About 13. So it affected you in that moment?
Sure.
I see.
Yeah.
And what did this end up? How did this affect you? What did you end up doing?
Yeah, like performance. My performance deteriorated. I can't say I was a top student, but I was a good student. But it deteriorated even in my KCP, that is, but I didn't perform that poorly.
Okay.
Yeah, my performance could enable me to go to a good high school. I didn't, my parents, I think they never noticed. So, about my treatment, I started the treatment very late.
Okay.
Yeah, when I had already completed my school.
But at that moment, when you're that young and you're going through that, did you know what was happening? Did you know what you were going through?
No, I didn't. In fact, I didn't know anything to do with depression. The first time I heard the name is when I was taken to a psychiatrist.
Oh, wow, it got bad, huh?
Yeah.
So at what point did you realize there's a problem and you went to your parents? What did you tell them? Did they understand?
Oh, I'm not the one who took myself to the hospital. It's my parent, my dad, and my mom. But unfortunately, my mom left us. So I'm left with my dad for now.
Okay.
So it's my dad and my mom. They took me to a hospital, and the doctor referred me to a psychiatry department.
What happened that your parents had to take you to hospital?
Yeah, there was this lady who had told me about adoption. It really hit me hard. So I went and told my parents, I want to see maybe my certificates to confirm.
What did this lady tell you? She told you adopted?
She told me I was adopted, yeah. And I have been raised with both parents, so that's not something normal to me. It's an easy thing to me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
How did you handle that news? How did you feel when you heard that?
It was a shock. And I kept quiet for a long time. But I was suffering silently.
And how did you, when you told your parents about this
news?
That's
the time they decided to take a step, and they took me to the hospital.
And then what? You were diagnosed clinically?
First,
depression.
As I remember, those time I didn't know. I had the nurses in the psychiatry department saying I had illusions and delusions. Okay. And then I was booked for a senior doctor. The senior doctor is the one who said that I have depression and I was in a very bad condition.
How was it take us through depression at that age. What does it look like? What were you feeling? What was happening?
For me, depression, it's being knocked out of reality and you're taken to your own world. Yeah.
What was happening to you?
Most of the time, as in making decision was an issue, and I could sleep a lot in class. Yeah, but relating with others I was okay. But oversleeping, feeling suicidal, and sometimes you could find that I've started improving in class, then all of a sudden the performance goes down.
When did the situation get so bad that you contemplated suicide? What happened?
Suicidal thoughts, I started them when I started having them when I was in primary school, I remember. Some of my cousins, not all, but some of my cousins, the way they were bullying, the verbal, verbal abuse, it was really hurting. So I felt very bad. In a way, that's the time I started forgetting. As I remember, because I narrated the story to the doctor, when she told me, one lady told me that that's the time the disease has started in my life. Forgetting, maybe I've kept the house keys somewhere, I've forgotten such things. Even concentration, it was very low.
In school?
Yeah, most of the time I was absent-minded.
I see.
And even I was totally confused in primary school.
Yeah?
I remember.
What do you mean, totally confused?
Like following I'm supposed to do this, but, because, or maybe I do something in the wrong time.
I see. And before, because you mentioned that trauma or the torture from your family, just the abuse constantly, the verbal abuse.
Yeah.
Did you seek help?
No, I suffered silently.
Really?
Yeah.
So you never sought for counseling or someone to speak to?
In fact, just the other day I was thinking if I had looked for some help, I could not have. I could not have gone to where I had reached. Yeah. So I always advise people to seek help. Yeah, earlier. Whenever you see something abnormal, maybe behavior or something that is not okay, it's good to seek help.
Okay.
The earlier, the better. Prevention is better than cure.
That's true. So when did it get bad and when did you seek help? At what point?
About the suicidal thoughts, I had not told about them. I not told my psychiatrist about them because the first time it's my parents who took me. So they are the one who were telling them what I was going through. So one day I woke up. That day I remember I was so stressed up. So I had told God, God, you can take me, because for me, I've never thought of maybe hanging myself. I've never thought of such a thing. But I told God, you can take, he can take me. So the next morning, I had to seek for help. So I woke up, I prepared myself, and went to see the psychiatrist. That when the day I remember I was prescribed for the antidepressant. And they really worked on me. Because the suicidal thoughts, they vanished. Yeah. And when they went, because I was visiting, going for clinics every month, the next month, I told them in fact, I felt myself have improved. And they told me they can see it themselves.
So how did this affect your life, having to live like that for this long period? You mentioned church. If you have friends, social life, yes, tell me about
academics, academics, as in I wasn't living like a normal kid, so I've missed a lot of experiences.
Yeah? What do you feel you missed out on?
Let me say, like, when you're in school, you get to engage in different, maybe, activities. Most of the time I used to withdraw.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. It's not that maybe I used to be chased away. No. Yeah. And I used to give up very fast. But something that really did heartbreak me is about my performance. Because when I was in Form 2, I remember I was very ready to work very hard so that by the time I get to Form 4, I'll get a good grade. But nothing was happening. That's when I became hopeless. Yeah. And even I stopped studying.
Really?
Yeah.
How bad did things get?
Yeah.
What was your rock bottom? How bad was
First,
it?
even making decision is an issue when you have depression. And you find yourself, sometimes you enter into toxic relationship. As I always say, it's good for people to be taught about relationships even when they are getting to teenage life.
Yeah.
Because the relationship are key when it comes to even to somebody to succeed in their area, even of their career, academics. Yeah. And what have helped me this far not to enter into any toxic relationship is because I've had boundaries. Yeah. Yeah, I decided to have put boundaries, and from that time when I decided to put firm boundaries, they have really big help. In fact, I'm happy about it.
I'd like we can take a break, but before that, or after the break, you'll tell us what happened in the toxic relationships, the effects of it.
Sure.
Because you got a child within that period, didn't you?
Sure.
So let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Before the break, Naomi, you talked on toxic relationships sort of being an indication or result of dealing with depression.
Sure.
So for you, at what point did it start, and what were the effects of that being in such relationships?
For me, I believe that for you to engage in maybe sexual intercourse, you have to be in a relationship.
Okay.
So whenever a person maybe uses force or maybe is in those interests, and we are not together, maybe we are not in a relationship, it pains me a lot. Yeah, because like the time I got pregnant, the person I didn't know of him. I came to know of him when I was already pregnant, but I had already accepted the outcome.
What happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
He's a married man, in fact. So he came. I was living in my own room. I remember I had a rental house. So he came, and I just gave in, but I didn't know of him. So such things, unable to think straightforward. And I was a student, in fact.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a student, so there's no way I could want to get pregnant when I was a student. I wanted to finish. You
feel like the cause of that happening to you was because you were not okay mentally?
Yeah, because even knowledge is very important. So far, I've gained more knowledge, and challenges will always be there, but it's good for one to be equipped with the right knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah, because when you know you can escape from such things. Yeah, when you are knowledgeable, you know this I don't have to do this because there's something like this will happen. Yeah. So even gaining knowledge is very important. Apart from even having depression, I've also empowered myself.
So how old were you when you had your child? And how did it? Were you still in school?
Yeah, I was in college. Yeah, I was in college. Yeah, and also back then, there was a time I could find myself in relationship that weren't pleasing at all. Yeah, so about relationship, I wasn't taught. That's why you could find maybe and because of I was unable to make quick decisions. You could find maybe something has already happened, even if I'm not into it, Yeah,
really?
But adding knowledge has really been of big help.
Really?
Sure.
Okay.
Even dealing with depression, knowledge is important, apart even from medication.
That's true.
Yeah.
So when was the turning point for you when it came to toxic relationships? How do you handle that now in your life, now that you're aware?
First, when I can say the time my life started being transformed. I was pregnant, I was in my house, and there was this program that was being aired on TV. It is a church. So the title was Nothing Changes Until Mentality Changes. So I got so interested to listen to the sermon. And I assure you, from that day, that's when my transformation began. Yeah.
How did you change? How did you become the different Naomi?
After I listened to the sermon several times, even the word of God is knowledge.
Amen. That's true.
It's knowledge. So after I listened to it, for some time, I just decided to give my life to Christ. And from that day, it's been a new journey for me. Because I was able to overcome low self-esteem, and I started gaining knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah. And even, you know, for my transformation, you have to change your mind for you to see change in your life. So I've been listening to people's stories. I've been learning a lot. As in, I've been learning. I'm in the process of learning. Okay. And the knowledge I gain, I get to put it into practice.
I see.
Yeah, so it's been of big help. Apart from that, about when I never have an issue, I usually seek help. Like, I talk to a counselor, and then I get an advice. So, yeah.
Okay.
So nowadays, I don't keep quiet.
I see. But you mentioned you would prescribe some medication. I don't know if you're still on the medication.
Yeah, I'm still on medication.
Are there side effects? Tell me about the medication.
Yeah.
How did the
sometimes you feel sleepy. Yeah.
But what are the effects, the positive effects of the medication? How have they transformed you?
At least nowadays, the time I have taken my medication well, I'm able to do, as in to make decision better, as in my thinking is also in the right way, clearer than the way it was before. So medication has also been of big help. And my psychiatrist, they encouraged me to take them.
I see. And how was it, the journey of seeking help? Because many people go through stuff, but the step to go out and seek help is usually the hardest part. Especially
when you have suicidal thoughts, it's a sign that you're not okay. So it's good to, apart from even maybe going to a pastor, prayers is, I'm not saying that praying cannot change things, but we have also been told action is, faith without action is dead. So it's good to seek professional help.
Pray about it, but seek help as well.
Sure.
I see. Let's talk about your child and parenting. How, because you hadn't sought help yet. How was it having your child in that period, and how did you manage and maneuver through it?
I was lucky. I have support of my parents. They even never judged me, and they never chased me. They helped me a lot.
I see. And now on the other side, having recovered or on your journey of healing, how are you parenting differently?
Yeah, parenting. First, my mom used to help me to take care of my kid, but when she left us, I've been with my kid. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I got my kid, I was already at a medication.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at a medication.
Okay.
So as in nowadays, I talk to my kid more than even maybe doing a punishment. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
We talk a lot. We are friends, in fact.
You're open?
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
And having that relationship with your child, and you remember the news you were told that you were adopted and you had no idea.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that then, actually? How did you feel knowing that reality?
It will never change anything, even about the relationship with my parents,
Really?
even my siblings. Yeah, I appreciate the efforts my parents have taken. Up to this far, my dad still supports me. Because, like, for now, I'm not in my employment. But I was employed, but for now, I'm not in any employment. Yeah. So I left. It's me who left.
Why?
But not that the job was awkward or it was bad, but I felt my son was far away, and the time management, I kind of got confused, so I had to write a letter to take a break.
Okay, so you can be close to your son.
But when I'm working, I work perfectly well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
So now you're at home with your son?
Yeah.
Did you ever seek out your birth parents? Have you looked for them?
No, I'm not even interested in looking for them because I already have parents. Why should I look for them?
Really?
Yeah.
You never had those questions run through your mind?
No, I've never.
Oh, wow.
I believe everything happened for a reason.
That is true.
And there's no need of stressing my dad, you know, and he has been really supportive. Sure.
What can you tell someone now who is going through clinical depression? How can you encourage them today?
Yeah, I want to say that there's nothing that's new to man, but that which is common. So you are not alone. There are others even who are going through the same, and it's good to take a step and visit a doctor. That's the first step you can take.
Naomi, let me take you back a bit to where when you were pregnant. You discovered you're pregnant, still in school.
Yeah.
You didn't expect it or plan for it.
Sure.
How was that pregnancy journey for you? What state were you in? Your emotions? Were you able to handle it? How was it like?
First, I had to accept the consequence because I knew because I wasn't married, and the person who impregnated me was not even in a position. Maybe even if there are those guys who marry a second wife, his salary is very low. So I knew I had to take care of my kid alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you accepted and you dealt with it?
I accepted because I even never had a second thought of even doing an abortion. Oh, although I had some friends who advised me, oh, do an abortion, but for me, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't take in their advice.
I see.
Yeah.
Did you face any, I guess your friends, did they walk with you? Were they by your side? Did they leave you? Was there stigma?
Nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
In fact, I had this friend who was telling me that she can help me when I get to deliver.
I see.
Yeah. And my mom helped me too.
She was there for you?
Yeah.
Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Now, Naomi, you do say that you're a mental health ambassador.
Sure.
What is that, and what has the journey been like? When did it begin? And I guess who have you helped on this journey?
First, I do an inspiring writer.
Oh, really?
So I do write articles.
Okay.
Yeah. But for this period, I've been doing it online. I have a page, Mental Health Ambassador.
Okay.
And whenever there was a time I had a magazine, I was writing those articles.
Okay.
And I'm usually happy when someone tells me that it inspires the person a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. So my happiness is seeing another life transformed, and people living a positive life and getting to fight each day till they make it.
Fantastic.
Sure.
What do you write about? If you could highlight some of the articles you've written, and I guess what has the feedback been like? Like
there was this article I had written about labels.
Labels?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because what you believe you become. Yeah. Yeah, there is power in believing, and sometimes we are given labels and they are not even true. Someone can tell you that you are a failure, and when you get to believe it, you never succeed.
That's true.
Yeah, that's when change of mentality comes.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to change from being negative to being
positive.
Feed yourself with positive information.
Okay.
Because until you change, nothing changes. So you have to change yourself first, so that you can experience change.
What has the feedback been like with you sharing with others online?
Yeah, I'm also like in church. I'm in the missionary department.
Okay.
And sometimes I get an opportunity to talk to students. Yeah. So I'm also a student mentor.
I see.
Yeah.
What has the feedback been like from the people?
Yeah,
what are they telling you?
They get encouraged.
Okay.
And I even talk to people in my department or people I get a chance to engage with. Yeah. And
how are you today? What is your healing journey like?
Today, when I look back, I have a lot of things to give thanks to God, because first, at least my life is now back into alignment.
Okay.
Yeah. At least now, when my life is better now, because there was a time everything was off. In a way, even job opportunities I couldn't get. Yes, I haven't gotten a point to get those top jobs, but the ones I get, I usually appreciate a lot, and usually believe there is better lined up for me.
Amen.
Yeah.
If you could share, someone may be depressed now at home, or someone has been going through that journey, what are the key, it could be 3 points that have helped you on your journey. What can you tell them today?
Yeah, one should not get stuck where the person is. You should rise up and dust yourself. And first, the person should know the foundation, as in what is the origin
Okay.
Where, how comes you got to the state you are in now, and that's where you start working.
The underlying issues.
Yeah, the underlying issues. You should work on yourself.
Okay.
And also get to, we all have somebody we feel comfortable to talk to. You can look for somebody who can guide you through the journey.
Okay.
Yeah, don't walk the journey alone.
That's true.
Yeah.
For you, what's been your greatest hope and encouragement through your journey? What kept you going each and every day, even when you felt like you can't do it anymore? What gave you the hope and the will to continue?
This verse we are told, God's time is the best.
Okay.
And when the time is right, like in the book of Isaiah, we have been told, when the time is right,
God
I the Lord will make it happen.
Amen.
So whatever I'm working for, I know it will happen when it's God's time, and it is perfect.
Okay.
So I never give up, because I believe that God got good plans for me, to prosper me, to give me a hope, and to give me a future. So whatever I'm doing now, it be a product of my future.
Amen.
And also I do work. I'm that kind of a person who I'm not that kind of a person who just pray.
Okay.
I usually take an action.
I see.
I do something.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you grateful for today, Naomi?
As in what I'm grateful is because my life coming back into alignment and realizing myself, that's something it even make me happy. Yeah.
It makes you happy?
Yeah. And something else today, at least nowadays, I'm able to control my thoughts.
I see.
Yeah.
Before they would
I don't
get out of
stress
hand.
myself. In a way, I'm even lacking sleep. Nowadays, I'm able to control my thoughts.
I see.
Yeah.
And do you know how long you'll be taking the medication? Is there...
Like, I started the medication, it was 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
2010.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, is there a plan to get off the medication?
Yeah, I'm planning to I'm doing a research. And also, I am praying not to live with the medication for the whole of my life. So
Exactly.
I'm looking for another way.
What's your greatest wish or prayer?
My
Or desire?
My
your greatest
desire.
wish, desire, or prayer for your life?
For your life. To be successful in my career also.
Okay.
And also, I want to be a blessing to others.
Bless you. So what inspired you to share your story with us today?
Yeah, I've been following you, and I've even followed you on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
It's been years I followed you, and we are having a campaign as Fasarina Charity Organization.
Okay.
We are having a campaign to say no to suicide, because there have been many cases of people taking their lives.
Yeah, especially during the pandemic period.
Sure, people have really been affected, and that's why we decided to do the campaign. And I, being the head of the mental health department, I'm the one who came up with the idea, and we are in the process of the campaign. And what I want to say is that the situation a person is not permanent. Nothing is permanent.
That's true.
Yeah, you have just hold on to the hope that things will change for better, and God has a purpose for each and every one of us.
That's true.
So one should know whatever you are going through, it's not even for you. It will better you, and even be for others.
Amen.
Yeah.
Do you believe you found your purpose from this experience?
Sure. Like now, I'm planning to do a certificate in psychology and counseling.
Well
I want to be professional.
Well done.
Sure.
With your new role, mental health ambassador, maybe you could highlight some of the cases you've come across and how you've been of assistance to them.
Most of the time, as I'm in my line of duty, what I do is I give them a ear. I don't judge anyone. Okay. Whatever you tell me, I don't judge, and I help where I can. Good. Yeah. I give an advice, and I feel someone needs to see a professional help. I do advise them to do that.
What are some of the most difficult, or maybe you could highlight some stories that you've heard out there? What are people going through? How bad is it?
Yeah, there, about depression, there are also the other mental health. diseases like bipolar. I have come up close a person with bipolar, and they really get encouraged whenever I share my story, because they can't even expect I can be going through the same thing. So they stop feeling alone.
I see. In fact, speaking of that, what can you tell someone now at home who could be, like you mentioned, the different mental health issues, bipolar, autism, and some even have suicidal thoughts or plans. It could be someone right now at home who feels like they've had enough. This is the last day. How can you encourage them today? What can you speak into their life? You can look into that camera.
What I can say is that you should take, as in you should work on yourself and know that where you are, it will not be that tomorrow. Yeah, as we are told that tears may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. I know sometimes some people may feel that, at this I've already made up my mind and I want to take my life, but suicide is not the solution. It won't add your problems. Sometimes you may take your life, but you leave the people who are left behind, they are left with, questions, So some even, it even cause post-traumatic stress disorder. And so it's good to keep the fight going on. And I promise you, one day your situation will change. Even if now it seems like there's no way out. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So you won't stay there. You come out of where you are, even if it is finances, loans. I don't think somebody, even if you have a bank loan, like I had somebody commit suicide because of a bank loan, some because of a cheating partner, some because there are some events that have triggered them. So I want to tell you that where you are, you won't remain there. Things will change.
Thank you, Naomi.
Yeah.
What would you like people to remember you for?
I usually want everybody to know that no one was born by a mistake.
True.
And everything happened for a reason. Yeah. And that everything happened for a reason, so that God's purpose may prevail. And God loves us all.
That's true.
Yeah.
And before we finish, actually, because you mentioned for you it all began from bullying.
Yeah.
And now in our society, with everything being online, there's so much social media bullying and trolling.
Sure.
What can you speak? I want you to speak on that. Speak to the trolls and those who are bullied. What can you tell them?
Everybody is in a certain situation, and it's not good to judge, because we have been taught not to judge others, and never be quick to conclusion until you have the whole story. So let us be kind to one another and stop the bullying. Just be kind. If it's better you fail to comment and keep quiet, because you don't know the situation the person is in. You don't know the fight the person is fighting. So let us all be kind to one another, so that even there will be no regret. Maybe if something happened to the person, you do not have anything to regret.
So before we finish, maybe you can tell people at home where they can find you online.
I'm on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram as Naomi Dhangwa, Naomi Nyakio Dhangwa. Yeah.
Thank you, Naomi. And that's how you end the show. Let's all be kind to one another.
Yeah.
Let's spread love and not hate. Thank you for sharing your light with us and your story.
Yeah.
We wish you all the very best.
Thank you too.
And to you at home, thank you for watching. Naomi will share her details below if you want to reach out to her. Maybe you also would like some assistance from her. She's here for you, and so are we. Thank you for watching and for reaching out. We appreciate your viewership and your time. Until next week, take care, God bless, and thank you, Radisson, of course. Goodbye.